Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Gold Mythic Tara, who is going to be the next promo character coming to RTS. Visually you can see on the right hand side she has got the knuckle dusters. We have had a couple of characters like this in the past. I believe we had the original was Teresa in the 5-star era, someone can correct me if I'm wrong there, and then we've had also S-Class Nor. I don't think we've had anyone else. It's kind of like the foot on Jesus. It's very underappreciated, is the knuckle duster, and I do like it quite a lot. Visually, you can see on the left-hand side a bit more brutal looking. You do not want to get hit by this. You do not want to get hit by this at all. She has got a little bit extra on the gear on the left-hand side, which you'll probably get at Limit Break 3, because right now she is a Limit Break 2 character. As you can see, she is level 680. She has got 12,054 attack, 16,876 defense, and 19,287 HP. She is a fast character. She is considered a tank, and her stats are extremely tanky for sure. She is a mythic character, of course, and she is another character, and I believe the 5th member of the Saviors, along with, who have we got? We've got Dwight, Negan, Razzo, and we also have got Connor. So that's 4. So I believe Tara would be the 5th character of this allegiance. Now we'll check out her adrenaline rush, and it is called Line of Defense. It has got a recharge rate of 66 AP, which is pretty fast. I'm guessing she's going to be a defense team character as she is a tank, and that means she is going to need AP on attack most of the time to actually get this off a reasonable pace, but you don't necessarily have to get off at a reasonable pace. It's up to you. This character and all medic role teammates get 100% defense for 2 turns. When battling on the defense team, this character and all medic role teammates get 80% attack for 2 turns. So she's giving huge buffs here, potentially to the entire team. Like if you remember back in the day, we had characters like OG Zeke, 5-star Zeke, who gave out a really nice buff. That was 60%. This is 100% and 80%. And it's also potentially to everybody, and it's also to mythic characters as well. So those characters that have like 50, 60k stat, yeah, that's gonna get boosted over to 100k stat, for 2 turns. They're gonna do a lot of damage, and they're not gonna take too much damage. So this is actually potentially really powerful, but you can see that it's not doing any damage in itself, and this is why her attack stat is so low. She isn't really that much of a damage dealer. She's very much a tank and seemingly a bit of a buffer as well. Okay, so here we are attacking, and you can see we've got a Tara on defense and attack. Now I have got my rush for my Tara, and if I hit the button, we'll get the buffs, and you can see my character here, Tara, gets the buff, but nobody else does, because we have not got any other medics on the team. We've got a tank in Rick, and we've got 2 support characters, I believe, in Harper and Glenn. So no one else is going to get the buff. However, on the defense team, there is definitely another medic. As you can see, they have got Erica. So if I just hit a couple of characters, let's do the defend action as well. We should have the buff go on to Tara herself, the defense buff, but also the attack buff, but it should also go on to Erica up the top right hand corner. As we see the buffs come in, 100% defense buff on Erica and 80% attack. Now obviously this is just going to be really powerful on characters that have any sort of offensive capability as medics, and Erica would be one of those medics. But at the very least, it would of course boost their defense stats. So even if they were an extremely defensive character, let's say like Dr. Stevens, who does have an offensive, signature move, but he's mainly quite defensive, he would just be an extra 100% defense. So yeah, very, very powerful when it comes to the defense side of things, and kind of niche on the attack side of things. It's not going to help Tara with her rush so much. We'll have to check out her signature move in a second, but it's only going to help certain medics on defense teams. But the medics that it does help, it's going to change their like 200% hits into, potentially like up to 360% hits plus multipliers on top of that. So yeah, that's going to destroy damage dealers. As we see the upgrades, you can see at grade 3 she gets a 25% defense boost, so it goes from 50% to 75%. At grade 5 she gets a 30% attack boost, so it goes from, I believe, 30% to 60%. And then at the last upgrade is Limit Break 2, she gets the last 20% attack and the last 25% defense to give her the overall 100% defense boost and 80% attack boost. You do need to use military supplies for the attack boost, so that's completely optional. If you don't feel like you've got offensive medics that will work with Tara, then obviously you can just hold back on this, you know, initially. But without a doubt, there's going to be characters that are going to be coming out that will be useful with Tara when it comes to the medic role, if you don't want to use the ones that are already useful with her. Now we'll move across to Tara's signature move, and it is called Knuckle Sandwich, and it is quite different signature move than we've seen in the past. It's got an initial cooldown of turn 2, cooldown of 2 turns, number of uses unlimited. Now this is the bit that's a bit different. One enemy takes 50% of their max HP in damage. One teammate recovers from heal reduction. Now this is interesting, obviously, because she's dealing damage based on the enemy's HP, not her attack stat. And it's just they're taking damage, not she's like hitting them. I think the animation might be her hitting them, but it'll work like an OG Andrea rush, you know, the Mythic Andrea from the beginning. If you rush someone, it's not going to proc anything like stun on defense, I would assume, because it isn't attacking an enemy. You know, the wording isn't attack an enemy, but it will just eliminate 50% of their max HP, just like that. She will not need any attack stat. She can be fully tanked out, and because it's their max HP and not their current HP, for instance, it means if she's in a one-on-one situation with any character, if she gets this signature move off twice and they do not heal anything, they're gone. Doesn't matter who they are, if they're a tank or if they're a damage dealer. And if they're a damage dealer, she's going to be really tanky. So the count is quite a heavy counter there in like that last ditch situation. You do not want to leave this character to last, because she will punish you for sure. Okay, so here we are on turn 2, and we are going to target the person with the most HP on the defense team, just because we're going to do the most damage that way, because it's 50% of their max HP. And we are going to target Tara here. She's going to do the most damage. We're just going to hit it, and it will do the animation of attacking the character, but it won't ever crit. It will just be a flat 50% hit. It won't ever proc weapons. It will just be, you know, a flat 50%, but it could proc certain passives. For instance, Mercer's Reflect passive, it could proc that, because it is still causing damage. So, you know, like, I think maybe his wording is maybe rush or basic attack. I'm not 100% sure. It will come down to the wording on Mercer's kit, but as you can see, like, she's got no attack stat. She's at like 12k her base stat, but she still did 50% of this character's HP just instantly. It doesn't matter what the character's defense is. This is going to be extremely powerful and could potentially be insane in certain game modes. And those game modes I'm thinking about, like Faction Assault, they'd have to definitely figure out a way to make this not be a thing, because that would just be maybe a bit too much. Maybe limiting the percentage damage that a character can take in, you know, Faction Assault, if they ever did refix Faction Assault in the future. But I think that's something else to think about, but that is pretty interesting. 2-turn cooldown, you know, 2-turn initial cooldown is perfect in terms of the natural rush. If she's got AP on attack, she's going to get her rush normally. However, you might want to fully tank her out. Like I said, you might want to go for the full tank out weapon. We'll talk about the weapon in a moment though, and we'll look at the upgrades here. At grade 2, it has got -3 cooldown, so initially it has turn 6, because we can see it. Limit Break 1, there's another one. But at grade 4, there's a 1 teammate recovery from heal reduction. The grade 2 and 4 are quite easy to get. If you get this character, you're going to get those, generally speaking. The Limit Break 1 will be harder. The cooldown isn't as important as the initial cooldown, in my opinion, but it will make her not as powerful as that last character standing. But still, I think, very, very powerful. The fact that she's a fast character as well, could have fast healing, so she could take a lot less damage because she can be fully tanked. She can have a fast healing weapon, so heal herself up, and then every 2 turns she's going to be dealing 50% damage to you know, an enemy. So yeah, and it's unlimited as well. I didn't say that, I don't think, but it is unlimited, so it's just going to keep on proccing and proccing and proccing and proccing. Pretty dirty for sure. Now Tara has some passives, of course. These are her mythic abilities, and as you can see, she is going to get strength, which is 40% critical hit resistance because she is a tank. That's the 2 times 20%. She's also going to get fighting fit, which is a 20% max HP bonus, which is actually kind of nice, like, for a tank, and the fact that her tank stats, her HP is the highest out of the 2 tank stats. The next one is called Domineer. At the beginning of each wave, 100% chance that all teammates get defense down block for 1 turn. This is interesting, of course, because it is only going to be off the first turn, but it is going to stop potential like heavy nuke teams that utilize maybe some S-class characters to get defense down on enemies. This is going to stop that from being an issue. And because you can see that she is a leader, she doesn't have to be a leader for this to actually happen. Now, it's not as powerful as someone like Ezekiel's, but it will maybe help people transition from Ezekiel to this leader if you so wish to, because you are still going to get that first turn block, and that first turn block is the quite important one, because that's when all the buffs start popping up from weapons. You know, if you've got alert buffs, you know, this sort of thing, that's when the alert buffs start proccing on turn 1. So the defense team has to survive that long, and this is going to help them get there. The next one is called Medical Sabotage, and this is quite nice. Whenever anyone on your team is healed, you have a 30% chance to deal 2,000 bleed damage for 1 turn to a single enemy. Now, this is flat bleed, and it's not based off of any of her stats, so it's just going to be a flat 2,000 bleed. Now, a lot of characters do only have around 20,000 HP on an attack team, mainly the damage dealers, but this is going to proc every single time there's a heal. Let's say the entire team gets heal over time, that's 5 heals, that could be 5 procs potentially, you know, and let's say 2 out of those 5, generally speaking, are going to proc on average. That's going to be 4,000 bleed damage just dealing out, on top of the other stuff that she's going to bring with her, just 50% hits, dealing out. It's just a lot of cumulative damage. It maybe seems small, but it stacks up. Okay, so I'm going to be attacking the defense team here, and we have got a lot of medics on this defense team. That is how it works. You know, healers are generally going to make this bleed proc more often. And it is also worth noting that bonus HP doesn't seem to make it proc. I just did a couple of tests. It doesn't seem to make it proc. It is also worth noting as well, the characters actually have to be healed for it to proc. So if they have lots of bonus HP from someone like Skins, and they actually do healing moves, you know, signature moves, even weapons, you know, like healing weapons, like fast healing weapons, if it doesn't actually heal HP, the green text coming above their head, then it's not going to have a chance of proccing. Now, I have taken Zachary in here just to do damage so that everyone's getting healed. I'm just going to defend on people here. I'm not really looking to try and obliterate this defense team. I'm just trying to show you the proccing coming in. So they'll do their damage, then they'll take quite a lot of damage. And then at the beginning of their next turn, you should see fast healing, you know, start getting things done. And potentially some characters will get some bleed on my team here. As we are going to see the signature moves come in with the heals. Is there anyone who took some bleeds? I cannot see any bleed just yet. Is there anyone who's bleeding? Yes, we have got Zachary in the bottom left-hand corner. So it has procced once. I want to see if it can multi-proc in the same turn. We have got Doc Stevens. Maybe we should just do some damage to Doc, because he's not gaining any AP. I'm not sure what's going on there. We're going to just defend again. We have had another proc of 2,000 bleed in the top left-hand corner. Now I want to see, because Doc does multi-heals. He actually heals multiple people. So I want to see if it can potentially proc multiple times. Let's have a little look. He's going to do his rush. And we're going to see, yeah, multiple bleeds coming in. So it's going to potentially happen multiple times. It's going to happen with fast healing weapons, with rushes, with signature moves. And like I said, bleed stacks as well. So if you've got someone like Zachary on your defense team, the 2,000 bleed will just sit on top of this, and it will stack on top. So, you know, just do extra damage on top of the bleed that it's already doing. Now, that bleed is only a flat rate bleed, so obviously it isn't going to be super powerful, but I think this is just mainly a bonus, and it's just like free damage on a character that's doesn't have to build any damage. So it's actually potentially pretty decent on a defense team that has a lot of medics. And seeing how her rush works, a lot of medics seems to be a good way to go. Well, look at the upgrades. At grade 1, it gets the 20% max HP boost. At grade 2, it gets strength, so it's obviously the first half of strength with 20% critical resist. At grade 3, it's Domineer, Domineer 1, so it's the first half of the defense down block, 50% chance. And then the second half, the other 50% chance, Domineer 2 is at grade 4, so pretty easy, 100%. As long as you get one of these characters, you're going to have that 100%. Then we get the last 2 upgrades, which is going to be grade 5, Medical Sabotage, that's the bleed happening at 30% chance. And then lastly, we have Strength at Limit Break 1. Now, as you've probably noticed, Tara has got a leader skill, and I'll bring it up. It is all teammates get 30% HP and reduce all bleed and burn damage for all fast and tough teammates by 70%. So she's a partial rainbow lead with the first half. She's going to give everyone 30% HP, but if you have any tough or fast teammates in that team, obviously effectively the meta damage dealers right now in terms of damage over time are going to be reduced by 70%. I've got mixed feelings on this personally. You know, I feel that we've just gotten someone like Andrea 2K free to play, and she's only really got given one war to really shine, and now not so much. However, I will say that you always know if this character is going to be on the team. She is the leader, so you know you can't take a damage over time team in against it. It's not like she's a random character on the defense team like a Zachary is, where you don't know if they're on that team and you don't know whether you can take it. I don't mind that as much. I think, you know, leaders which determine how you attack it, and you building a different team for attacking that team. There's much more strategy in taking those teams out than if there's just a random character on that defense team that could just be doing something really powerful, which this is extremely powerful, obviously, but like I said, you know it's going to be on the defense team. Okay, so we will start an attack, and as you can see, there is lots of bleed and burn on the defense team. 4 of these characters are fast or tough, and they will get the reduction when it comes to the amount of damage they're going to take. Visually, it will still seem like they've got the same bleed and burn as always, but when they actually take the proc, when they actually take the damage, that's when the reduction comes in. Now you see we do have one strong character on this team, and it is Rick up the top, and he would take the full amount of damage unless another character was to come in the future which could potentially like buff other characters, including him, on the same team, and it could be used in the same team as Tara. But as it stands, Rick's going to take the full brunt of any damage over time, and that is going to work with Zachary's passive and also Ty's leader skill. Now we can also just hit it up when it comes to Andrea 2000s. We'll just do Andrea 2000's basic attack here, and you can see some more burns gone down, and we should see Rick take close to 20k damage here, and all the other characters will take a 70% reduction in any damage that you see. We're just going to hit defend on everybody, and you'll see the damage come out at the end of their turn, and you can see massive differential in the amount of HP lost between these characters. Rick has the lowest burn out of these 3 characters, yet he took the most damage. They took barely anything. You know, they have 22,000 damage over time here, 23,000 for Tara, but that's going to be reduced by 70%. Now, Tara does have an attached weapon, and it is quite an interesting one. Tara's Sturdy Brass Knuckles. It has got 30% defense, 30% HP, and party healing. Heal all team members with 40% HP at the beginning of each wave. Now, what makes this interesting is it gets the double stat off the start, so you're getting 1 free upgrade. A lot of weapons that you're going to be able to upgrade from fast weapons have either got 30% defense or 30% HP. So if you put absolute defense on this weapon, you can get the HP to 40%, and then you're going to be able to get just basically an extra 5% if you so wish. Now you could instantly upgrade this to 5-star and just put a fast healing weapon directly in her hands, but I would advise not doing that if you can. The only problem is it can obviously be quite hard to get absolute defense. It can take a little bit of time. It's probably worth doing that just to get that extra, 5% stat. Unless you've got a really good, perfect pass healing already, with absolute defense, then, well, it's obviously up to you. So that is Mythic Tara, and she is going to be quite effective. She's going to be quite anti-meta right now, especially within the lead skill. And I think the rest of her kit is going to be more effective over time as we get some, no doubt, future medics get released. Because we haven't had too many medics released, and I think this is basically signaling there's going to be some medics get released that are going to work with how Tara is as a character. And the potential, if she gets her rush off, the attack boost, the defense boost is nuts. If you remember, like I said, if you remember OG Zeke, that buff going off was probably like, it's just good night basically, and it's pretty much going to be the same situation with Tara here, because it's going to last 2 turns. There's going to be 1 turn when it's not up, It's going to last 2 turns, and yeah, massive reduction in damage. If you've come up against Mythic Zeke, when he gets his rush off with the big defense boost, it's not going to be as high, but it is going to be to every medic and Tara. If you have like a full team of medics and Tara, then it's going to be to everybody. However, what do you think about Gold Mythic Tara? Please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. That is the end of my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.